Welcome to Hilary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power, purity and prosperity, and breakthroughs are born. At Diadem, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. Join us as we dive into God's Word, experience His presence like never before, and walk in His purpose for our lives. If you're in London, we invite you to fellowship with us in person at Diadem, 4 Pegamoy Road, N18 2NG. Don't forget to subscribe now and let's grow in faith together.
I want you to listen to me today so that you understand the message first of all, and then you'll be able to know how we are going to pray. Be able to know how we are going to pray. We are starting a new year and a new decade in a few days. A year and a decade full of so many uncertainties. A year that is full of gloom and fear upon the earth. And there is no better choice to make now than to hide securely in the Lord. To make the eternal God our refuge. And brethren, that's exactly what we want to do here today. We want to make Jehovah God our refuge in the new year. And that's what we are talking about. Making Jehovah God your refuge. Making Jehovah God your refuge. Refuge is described or defined as protection from danger. So when we are talking about making Jehovah God your refuge, we are just simply stating that hiding yourself in Jehovah God, that's what it all takes. That is protection from troubles, protection from pursuit, protection from difficulties or harsh situations of life. And brethren, one thing you must know, if you see human beings, we are only good at boasting. We can boast, we can make mouth, but there's nothing in our hand. That's one thing you must know about human beings. If we boast here, you think that we can accomplish anything. You think we can bring heaven down. It's all lies. You know, it reminds me of that man that is so highly placed. He has political power, possibly financial power. And you see where he's boasting. And then something happened, so arrogant, so proud. And there was just a little trouble, little protest. Not that the protest even came closer to him. Protest some few distance away. And he ran away. He ran into the bunker that was meant for the time of war. They used that bunker only when they have started shelling or they started bombing the city. Now, just ordinary protest, he ran into the bunker 2.5 times. And he said he was only going to test it to see whether the place will be useful sometimes. So human beings, we can make mouth, but when the real trouble comes, we have nothing. We can't hide anywhere. We can't just, where will you hide? Where will you hide? No place to hide. The whole surface of the earth is open and exposed. No place to hide anywhere. No place to hide. So that's why the only place to hide is in the Lord. It's in Jehovah God. 1 Samuel chapter 13. 1 Samuel 13. Look at verse 5. 1 Samuel 13 verse 5. And the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel. 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen, and people as the sand which is on the seashore in multitude. And they came up and pitched in Mishmash, eastward of Bethaven. Verse 6. When the men of Israel saw that they were in trouble, in strait, the people were distressed. Distress. You know, one thing they don't report too often is the impact of distress. The impact of distress. Human mind is too fragile. Human mind. They can't handle too many distresses. This coronavirus problem, the uncertainty about the financial implications, the trouble on some people. If you see the explosion of mental health problem all over the world, the explosion of mental health crisis that is having on mankind, because the bombardment of the implication upon the mind is just too much to handle. So you now see The people were distressed. Why were they distressed? Because they had no army, they had no weapon, they had no power to stand against the enemies coming against them. Is it not the situation we are facing now on earth? Humanity have no strength, we have no weapon, we have no might. Look at now, since March or since even December last year to January, they've been waiting for vaccine. That, well, vaccine is going to be our weapon. If we get vaccine, that's all. We'll just destroy the virus and we'll be jubilating again and be going forward again and be prospering again. And the virus kept quiet. Allow them to get vaccine. As soon as they announced vaccine in December, the virus changed its color and mutated and turned to something else. Now they are finding different varieties of that virus now. And they don't know yet how the vaccine is going to cope with it. They are just hoping it will be able to cope. So if it doesn't cope, they are back again to square one. So January again next year, they will start all over. The battle again against it. So what are we saying in essence? That's the nature of man. No weapon. Israel found themselves in that condition. The Philistines, they had very strong army. They had weapons, chariots. They had horsemen, a lot of things. And they were coming against people that had nothing. Look at what the people resorted to doing, brethren, in that verse 6. Then the people did hide themselves in caves. They started to hide in caves and in thickets and in rocks and in high places and in pits. But unfortunately, those places, the Philistines know there. It's open on the ground. Is it not in the surface of the ground? When they are coming, they will check all the holes, check all the pits, check everywhere, check the rocks and see whether you are hiding there. So no place to hide. So what am I saying in essence, brethren? Humanity, human beings generally, when they are faced with trouble, they always like to improvise, to look for where they could possibly hide. And there's no place to hide. The surface is open. The face of the earth is open. And that's why you see that those days, even now, warriors, what they do is that when they attack any city, they set all the houses on fire. Why do they set them on fire? Because they know people will be hiding inside. People will be hiding inside. So they set all the houses on fire. So that they set the whole city on fire. They burn the city down. Why do they do it? So that there will be no place to hide. So you can see here, Israel were hiding in pits, hiding under rock, hiding under these things. Do you know before this point, before Israel got to, because this was under King Saul. This was under King Saul. Before this point, Jehovah God was their refuge. He was their refuge. And then suddenly one day they woke up and they told God, we don't want you to be our refuge anymore. We want a man to be our refuge. We look for a king. And Samuel pleaded with them. Samuel begged them, don't do this. Don't do this. For how many years? Thousands of years. From Abraham, this God has been our refuge. Don't deny him now. Don't reject him. Don't cast him away. They refused. They said they needed a king. And God told Samuel, don't worry, give them a king. Let the king be their protector. Do you know the king was with them in the battle? Even the king himself was looking for where to hide. Even the king that they chose, he himself, do you know this battle? The king himself and all his children, they perished in the hand of the Philistines. When the king cannot save himself, is it you that he wants to come and save? That's why you see, but when Jehovah God was their refuge, no enemy could come closer to them. Nothing else could harass them. The Lord was protecting them. Judges chapter 6. Judges chapter 6. Look at verse 1. I'm just showing you all this, brethren, so that you yourself not make the mistake that Israel made. You will not go and seek refuge anywhere, and you will not go without refuge. Because some people will tell you, I don't need it. I think I will be fine. I know what to do. I can take care of myself. I am an adult. You are not any adult. You are not any adult anywhere. You can't take care of anything. You can't take care of anything. Even ordinary hunger, you can't take care of it. You can't take care of hunger. If there's no food, you get to the supermarket, nothing left. The whole shelves are empty. You call the neighbor, did you reserve any pasta? He said, no, I ate the last one yesterday. So nothing you can take care of. You don't have farm. Do you have your own farm? You don't have anywhere to turn to. The next thing you will be expecting United Nations to see if they will deliver anything. So you can't take care of anything. Look at Judges chapter 6. Look at verse 1. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord. Just like our world, our generation is doing evil now in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Midians 7 years. What you mean by delivered here is that the Lord just removed his hand from their lives. The Lord just removed his protection from them. Removed his refuge. Stop being refuge. Allow them to take care of themselves. Let him see. So he removed his hand and still want to watch how they will manage themselves. And look at the consequence. In verse 2. And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel, look at what they resorted to. I told you that, man, we always need refuge. We always need shelter. For example, we are here now under a roof. This is a refuge, this is a shelter. When we live here, we want to go under somewhere and lie down peacefully. That's a refuge, that's a shelter. Man will always need it. So the children of Israel, when God removed his protection from them, allowed them to take care of themselves, look at what they did. Look at what they did. Because that was the same thing. You remember, right from the time of Adam, when God was their covering, they didn't know they were naked. The glory of God clothed them. Till they tore it off and threw it away, they now knew they were naked. And what did they do? They went and got leaves and used it to cover their nakedness. It was still God that went and gave them leather to cover themselves. Look at what followed here, what they did. So the children of Israel, they made them the dens which are in the mountains. So they went to mountains and started to dig there until to create holes and caves and strongholds. But were those things able to save them? Because the enemies know where you are hiding. They are watching you. They are seeing all the time you are digging and digging and digging. They say, oh, is that where you want to hide? So look at verse 3. And so it was, when Israel had sown, that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them, and they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth. So all the cave they dug and all the hole they dug in the mountain couldn't save them. The enemies still came and destroyed everything they labored for. Until thou come unto Gaza, and left no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep nor ox nor ass. Verse 5, for they came up with their cattle and their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude, for both they and their camels were without number, and they entered into the land to destroy it. Look at the consequence. In fact, this one was good, because the agenda was not to wipe Israel out. Assuming the agenda was to wipe Israel out, there will be no place for Israel to hide. There will be no place to hide. The agenda was just to destroy their sustenance. Make sure they have no food to eat. Make sure they are poor. That's the agenda. They didn't want to kill them. So look at verse 6. And Israel was greatly impoverished. So you see that their cave and all the whole pit they dug in the mountain couldn't save them. Couldn't save them. They were reduced to poverty because of the Midianites, and the children of Israel cried unto the Lord. Why do they cry unto the Lord? Because all their personal effort have failed. For 7 years, all the whole personal refuge, personal security and protection they tried to make for themselves didn't protect them. So they now know that it is God that we need. How I wish that this generation will think like that. How I wish that humanity at one point will humble itself and say, I think we need to cry to God. From the president, the queen, the king, everybody will cry to God and say, have mercy on us. So the children of God, Israel, they cried. And that was when God sent deliverance unto them. So what we are talking about, brethren, did not start from us. Human beings in all generations, they are accustomed to seeking refuge from the wrong places. They are accustomed to seeking refuge from danger, from the wrong places, to hiding in the wrong places. That's always the case. You know, it reminds me of that particular person, that brother that was with us before. And one day the Lord gave me a message for him. He said, go and tell him that there is a storm coming on the way, and the storm was coming for him. He said, tell him that if he stays with me, I will protect him from that storm. If he departs from me, that storm will break him in pieces. And I told him, I said, look at what the Lord said. And he didn't understand. He went away. As I'm talking to you now, brethren, that storm has shredded him, shredded everything in his life, his marriage, his everything in his life. That storm has shredded him to where he himself never believed he could be. So that is exactly, human beings generally, we think we can take care of ourselves. We think, when the Lord is warning us, say, look, there is storm coming. Come and hide under me. I'm the only one that can protect you from that storm. A lot of people don't understand the implication. They don't know what that means. The kind of warning he gave us last year concerning this year. When you hear 2020, isn't that year beautiful? Doesn't it sound beautiful? It sounds so beautiful, isn't it? Did it turn out to be that beautiful? Because people were so anticipating a lot of things. 2020 is going to be a glorious year, a beautiful year. But what the year turned out to be, a lot of people spend more months inside their house locked up than, is that not semi-prison? That's those who survived. Those who survived. Many didn't come out of that house. Because when governments of all the whole world came up with that idea that if you have symptoms, if you are coughing, don't come out, stay inside your house, don't call ambulance. Is it not to die inside the house they are telling you the person? If you are not well, normally you should call ambulance to come and carry you to the hospital. They say no hospital, don't call any person, stay inside that house. So that's why I knew that they have no solution for anybody. So what are we saying in essence, brethren? Human beings, that's generally the way human beings think. Look at Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6. They always look for solution, look for refuge in the wrong places. Look at verse 12. Revelation 6 verse 12. He says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal. Because what we are going through on earth today, brethren, is God's judgment. Is punishment for our wickedness. That's what is happening to the humanity today. So he said, when he opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Verse 15. Look at the kings and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the, if anything happened on earth, brethren, is those not the people we look up to? We look up to the presidents, the prime minister, the kings, the queens, the politicians, the leaders, the great men. We look up unto them to do what? To provide solutions. We think that they should have solution. After all, they have the state mechanism in their hands. They have the state infrastructures in their hand. They have the command of everything, the army, everything in their hand. We should expect that they will be able to provide solution for us. So look at where it started from. So when all these things have happened, verse 15, the kings of the earth, the great men of the earth, the rich men of this earth, the chief captains of this earth, the mighty men of this earth, and even the bond one, the slaves, and every free man, what did they do? They started to hide themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Human beings will always hide in the wrong places. So they started to hide in the dens and the rocks of the mountain. Verse 16. And they now said to the mountains, and the rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne. So you see, human beings seek their own refuge. See how they seek their own refuge. And from the wrath of the Lamb, verse 17, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Now, when they know that what is coming is the wrath of the Lamb, why not cry to the Lamb? Why not beg the Lamb? And say, Lamb of God, have mercy. Let your anger go down. We have sinned. We are so sorry. Why not do that? Why telling mountain to follow? Can mountain, even the mountain themselves, they are running away. Even the mountains, they are skidding and fleeing away from the face of the other. And you are begging mountain to cover you. So man always look for refuge in the wrong place. But brethren, do you know the children of God shouldn't be like that? We shouldn't be like them. Believers shouldn't be like that. For those who know God, for those who understand God, For those who follow God, I want to show you where they seek their own refuge. I want to show you where they hide in time of trouble. I want to show you how they handle disasters and calamities. And that's why it will seem, people will be wondering, how do you do it? What is your own secret? Every person is crying, you are laughing. Every person is in trouble and you are at peace. How do you handle it? Look at it in Psalm 143. Psalm 143. Look at verse 7. And of course, you know, brethren, that we are doing all these things. And these prayers are very, very important. So that we prepare ourselves for the coming year. We prepare ourselves for the uncertainties of the next year. We prepare ourselves for all the things coming along, still in the front. Because if humanity thinks they have seen anything yet, they have not seen anything yet. It has not even started yet. So it's better for us to prepare ourselves and hide in the right place and get the right refuge. Look at verse 7. Psalm 143 verse 7. He said, hear me speedily. This was David praying. And David was telling God, hear me speedily, O Lord. He said, my spirit faileth. My spirit faileth. Listen. Spirit of humanity is failing. The way you see politicians, you might think that they have one secret somewhere. It's a lie. They themselves, their spirits are failing because they don't know. They are just gambling. They are just telling lies, using lies to cover up things because they don't have clue and they don't have solutions. So David said, my spirit faileth. Why? Remember, he was the king, isn't it? Like the president of the country. He said, my spirit faileth. Hide not thy face from me. He said, Lord, this is when I need your face. I need to be seeing your face daily. Don't hide your face from me. Don't remove your face from my case. Lest I be like unto them that go down into the pit. He said, I don't want to talk to those that are hiding in the pit and in the dens up, and I don't want to join those groups. I don't want to join those groups. He said, Lord, but if your face can be on me, I will be fine. Look at verse 8. He said, cause me to hear thy loving kindness in the morning, for in thee do I trust. Brethren, that's where it starts from. You have to trust in God. You have to believe in God. There must be a relationship between you and God. So he said, Lord, I trust in you. What kind of trust? He said, cause me to know the way wherein I should walk. He said, I don't know where to put my leg. I don't know which direction to go. Lord, show me by yourself where I should go, which direction I should take. For I lift up my soul unto thee. He said, deliver me, O Lord, from my enemies. I flee unto thee to hide me. Do you see how many things David presented? First of all, he presented that he had no clue. He said, I don't even know where to put my leg. I don't know which direction I'm going. That is true. He said, number two, I have enemies. You know, brethren, it is a terrible thing to have enemies in the time of pandemic, because you don't know which one you are even dodging. Whether you are dodging pandemic, whether you are dodging enemies. He said, that are pursuing me, please do not allow the enemies to overtake me at that time. You know, there was time the Lord Jesus Christ was preaching, and he was telling them, he said, trouble is on the way. Trouble is. He said, but pray so that that will not happen in winter, because you will not be able to cope. Because winter is a different problem of its own. And then couple again with the problem that is coming on the way. He said, pray that the trouble will not be in winter. So what are we saying in essence? You see how David prayed here. He said, I run to you, Lord. I flee unto you. He said, hide me. What is begging God to do here is, God, be my refuge. Be my refuge. One, from my enemies, then from the troubles, then from my fear, then from all the things that are pursuing. Be my refuge. That's all he's begging here. Psalm 46. I'm showing you how those who know God, how they operate. Psalm 46, look at verse 1. This is still the same David. He said, God is our refuge and is our strength. God is our refuge. And that's the greatest refuge you can have. That's the best refuge you can have. Look at the whole world. You might think that, well, thank God for advanced medical knowledge. In fact, coronavirus is not even sparing the doctors that are treating people, not sparing the nurses that are treating people, not sparing any human being anywhere. So even the ones you rely on to go and treat you, they themselves, they are afraid of you when they are coming closer to you. So he said, God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help in trouble. Verse 2. Therefore will not we fear. Brethren, fear is swallowing the earth. Humanity is in fear. True people are afraid, genuinely afraid. They don't know what next year is going to bring. Will the impact of Brexit begin to bite more than we expected? Will coronavirus turn to something else? What exactly is going to happen? Fear is everywhere. He said, don't allow us to be afraid, though the earth be removed. Do you see the confidence of the children of God? He said, it doesn't matter if you like, let the earth disappear. Let the earth disappear. Let there be no place for human being to stand upon anymore. He said, as long as God is our refuge, that is enough for us. Verse 3. He said, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. You know, this was similar thing I read to you in Revelation chapter 6. And the kings of this earth and the great men, what were they doing? They were begging mountains to fall on them. But look at David, a child of God. He said, if he like, let the mountains, let them tumble, let them disappear, let the waters roar, let the earth go, let everything happen. He said, that one we are not afraid. You see the boldness of the children of God. Why? Because the Lord is our refuge. Verse 4. There is a river. There is a river. The streams whereof shall make glad the city of God. You know, these are things that ordinary people don't know about. That there is a river, and the water that flows in that river makes the people of God glad. How this river ministers to us is a mystery. We might not even know where the river is. We don't know how the river gets to us, but this river ministers to us and gives us gladness, even in a time of trouble. Say there is a river. It makes the city of God glad, and the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. Verse 5. God is in the midst of her. Do you see why we need God as our refuge? Because he will be with us. His presence will be with us. He said, we shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that rightly early. And that's what you call refuge. Anytime we need God's help, he's always there. He will appear and help us very early. Verse 6. The hidden may rage. He said the hidden rage. The kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, and the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Do you see that? Verse 8. He said, come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolation he has made in the earth. So while desolation is going on earth, while destruction is going on earth, he said God is our refuge. We are hiding ourselves under him. Verse 9. He maketh wars to cease unto the ends of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burned the chariots in the fire. So if you have enemies, brethren, this was what Israel missed out on. Assuming Israel still made Jehovah God their refuge, that time the Philistines gathered over 30,000 chariots and bows and arrows and all kinds of weapons. Assuming they had Jehovah God, the Lord will have broken all of them for them. So he said he breaks all these things. And then verse 10, he said, be still and know that I am the Lord. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. And if God is going to be exalted in the earth, who will he be exalted on? It's on behalf of his children. He's going to be exalted for us, for over our cases. Verse 11, the Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. And when the Lord is our refuge like that, we can go to sleep and relax. We can be laughing. We can be confident. So if you know your God and the God you serve, and you know his power, and you know how you serve him, nothing will move you. Nothing will shake you. You will not be afraid of anything. So when they say anything and they threaten and they boast and they do, you say, don't worry, my God will take care of it. Because you know your God. Look at Psalm 27. This is still David. Psalm 27, look at verse 4. Look at verse 4. He said, one thing have I desired of the Lord. He said, there's only one thing I beg God for. There's only one thing I want God to do for me. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. Brethren, that's where the refuge is. Don't depart from the presence of God. Don't depart from the presence of God. He said, as long as I will dwell in the house of God all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. Verse 5. For in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion. Like this kind of trouble that is upon the earth now. He said he will hide us in his pavilion. Do you know where the pavilion is? No person sees it. No person knows where it is. But because Jehovah God is the owner, he knows where to hide us. Where no enemy can see us. Where no problem. He said in the time of trouble he will hide us. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock. Upon a rock. So obviously, brethren, all those times human beings are looking for rock to hide there. They know about rock, but not the real rock. Not the real rock. They run to the wrong rock to go and hide. He said God has a rock, and that's where he hides his children. And when he hides us in the rock of ages, nothing can touch us there. Nothing can touch us there. You know, there is somebody that created pestilence. Is somebody that created, is God that created all those things. That created pandemic, that created viruses, that created all those things. And they obey God. Those things, they obey God. Troubles obey God. When he says don't touch her, it means don't touch her. Simple. And God doesn't need to repeat it twice. Don't go there, and they obey. Leave her alone, and they obey. And that's how God protects his children. And brethren, we need that protection. We need it. In the new year, we need it. Everything in our lives, we need it. We need it. And so the prayers we are going to pray now is like the prayers of David. The prayers of David. You see, the children of Israel, the enemy that came upon them was not to kill them, but just to destroy their finances, destroy everything, so that they will be reduced to poverty. There are people that will escape coronavirus. They will not die, but nothing will be left to destroy every sustenance in their lives. Destroy business, destroy finances, destroy opportunity, destroy progress, destroy everything. There are others that you will target their life and take their life. There are others that will destroy so many other things. So the prayer we are going to pray, we're going to hide the totality of ourselves, everything that belongs to us, under this refuge. So let's stand up on our feet. I remember last year when the father told us, or this year, he said we should go and buy food and stock up. He said we should go and buy food, stock food. Later he came back, he said that even the food we bought, we have finished eating itself. The trouble has not even arrived. He said he has made alternative arrangement. He has commanded the kitchen of heaven to feed us. And that's what he has been doing. That's what he has been doing. So we are going to close our eyes now, brother, and begin to talk to the Lord. And say, my Father, please forgive me for trusting in any other thing beside you. Where I have trusted in myself and trusted in my ability to save myself, to protect myself. Where I have trusted in government or human beings, or trusted in any system beside you, Lord. Father, I am so sorry. I am deeply sorry, Lord.
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. You've just listened to the sermon, but there are powerful prayers that follow. Due to social media rules and guidelines, the prayers have been removed from this video. However, you can access the full prayers and more life-changing resources by visiting www.pastorhillary.org or downloading our app, Diadem Media. If you're in the London area, we'd love to have you fellowship with us in person at 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. If you have any questions about this message, want counseling from Pastor Hilary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.